Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we will be doing our grade 7 English lesson on pronouns. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select our subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 7. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of pronouns. All right. So our chapter is pronouns. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 7. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on, we're going to identify pronouns and their antecedents. And we're going to use the pronoun that agrees with the antecedents. All right. So when it comes to pronouns, right? Firstly, a pronoun takes the place of a noun, or a pronoun takes the place of a noun phrase. So a pronoun either takes the place of a noun or it takes the place of a noun phrase. And when it comes to the pronoun, right? Remember we said that it takes place of a noun or it takes the place of a noun phrase. Then the noun or the noun phrase that the pronoun refers to, that is called the antecedent. So the pronoun, once again, takes the place of a noun or takes the place of a noun phrase. And then the noun or that noun phrase that the pronoun refers to, that we call the antecedent. And if we look at an example, right, of our pronoun and the antecedent, and then it says, Rachel is tired, even though she slept for 10 hours last night. So Rachel is tired, even though she slept for 10 hours last night. And if we were to select firstly our pronoun, our noun or noun phrase, and how it basically, let's say, how the pronoun takes the place of a noun, it says Rachel is our noun, who says Rachel is tired, right? Even though she slept for 10 hours. So she, it refers to Rachel. So which means that we said that the she refers to Rachel. And remember we said that the noun or the noun phrase that the pronoun refers to. So she is the pronoun, it refers to Rachel. That is called our antecedent. So Rachel is our antecedent. All right. So here we see that Rachel is the antecedent, and our pronoun that takes the place of our noun is she. So she is the pronoun, and Rachel is our antecedent. Because remember, we said that a pronoun takes the place of a noun, but the noun or the noun phrase that the pronoun refers to, we call that the antecedent. All right. So now, if we look at the next one, it says apparently Tom and Sarah just landed. Who is picking them up? So apparently Tom and Sarah just landed. Who is picking them up? We need to identify the pronoun as well as the antecedent within that sentence. And if we were to identify our pronoun, right, then them is the pronoun that refers to or takes the place of Tom and Sarah. And then it means that Tom and Sarah is the antecedent of the pronoun, which is them. Them takes the place of the noun, them takes the place of Tom and Sarah, but Tom and Sarah is then the antecedent of that pronoun, which is them, right? So the noun phrase is Tom and Sarah, and that is the antecedent. And then the pronoun, which takes the place of Tom and Sarah, that is our pronoun. All right. So once again, when it comes to if we look at another example, let's first look at another example and then I will go and explain again. It says, my brother's basketball team won all of its games this season. So my brother's basketball team won all of its games this season. And if we were to identify, let's say, either our noun phrase or we identify the noun, then we can say the noun phrase is my brother's basketball team. That is our noun phrase. And if we look at the pronoun that takes the place of the noun phrase, then we can say it's. It's is the pronoun that takes the place of the noun phrase, which means that this noun phrase, which is my brother's basketball team, it is the antecedent of this pronoun, which is it's. Right? And then if you look at the last one, it says, taking care of pets can be difficult. So taking care of pets can be difficult. But it's quite worthwhile. So taking care of pets can be difficult, but it is quite worthwhile. We need to identify firstly the noun or the noun phrase, we identify the pronoun, and then also that noun phrase that is the antecedent. And if we were to identify the noun phrase within that sentence that says taking care of pets can be difficult, but it's quite worthwhile. And then we see that the noun phrase within that sentence is taking care of pets. And the antecedent, not even the antecedent, and the pronoun that takes the place of that noun phrase is it. So the pronoun is it. And now the pronoun that takes the place of the noun phrase, this noun phrase is then the antecedent of this pronoun, which is it. Right? And that is basically how we identify our pronoun. And now we can identify the antecedent. The pronoun takes the place of a noun or takes the place of a noun phrase. So the pronoun takes the place of a noun or a noun phrase. Then that noun phrase, right? That noun phrase, that is in the antecedent of the pronoun that it takes place. If that makes, like, I don't know, the English. So we have our noun phrase or we have our noun, right? Now, a pronoun takes the place of the noun or the noun phrase. Then that specific pronoun that takes the place of the noun phrase now becomes the antecedent of that pronoun that it takes place of, right? And then when it comes to pronouns, right, we have singular pronouns and we have plural pronouns. So we have singular pronouns and we have plural pronouns. And once again, a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun, or it is a word that takes the place of a noun phrase, right? And remember, we say that that noun or the noun phrase that the pronoun refers to, we call that the antecedent. And our pronouns, it agrees with the antecedent. So now we have a singular pronoun. And a singular pronoun or singular pronouns, they take the place of singular nouns, right? Referring to one. And singular pronouns includes words like I or you or she or he or it or me, him, her, his, its, my, and your. It refers to one person or thing. Only one person or thing. And if we look at an example, right, where we'll be able to, sorry, identify the singular pronoun that takes the place of a singular noun, then it says Rachel is tired. One person, Rachel is tired. Even though she slept for 10 hours last night. So Rachel is tired even though she slept for 10 hours last night. So Rachel is our noun and she is the pronoun that refers to Rachel or that agrees with Rachel. The next one says, surprisingly, my brother's basketball team won all its games this season, which means that our noun phrase is my brother's basketball team, and it is the pronoun that refers to that noun phrase, which is my brother's basketball team. It refers to one basketball team. And then we have our plural pronouns, and plural pronouns refers to more than one person or thing. And the plural pronoun takes the place of plural nouns or of nouns joined by the conjunction which is and. And if we look at plural words, right, then plural pronouns, sorry, the words includes words like we and you and they, us, them, our, your, and their. Those are words that are plural pronouns. Refers to more than one person or thing. And if we look at an example, right, it says, my neighbors, more than one neighbor. My neighbors spent the weekend at their cabin in South Lake Tahoe. So, which means that neighbors, right, it is our noun, and there refers to our neighbors. The next one says, where are the cans of soup I just bought? Where are the cans of soup I just bought? They aren't in the cupboard. So they refer to the cans of soup. They is a pronoun that refers to the cans of soup. Izzy and I spent all day on our science project. So Izzy and I, that is either our noun phrase. You see, yeah, the nouns, it is joined by the conjunction and now it refers to more than one. And our pronoun our refers to Izzy and I, right? So this is basically so far about pronouns. We said pronouns takes the place of the noun or the noun phrase, and that noun or the noun phrase that refers to, or let's say the pronoun that refers to, or let's say the noun or the noun phrase that refers to the pronoun, or that the pronoun refers to, we call that the antecedent. And remember, the Antecedent and our pronoun needs to agree. Or let's say the pronoun needs to agree with the antecedent. And then we have singular pronouns and we have plural pronouns, right? And once again, our plural pronouns needs to refer to our plural nouns, or a singular pronoun needs to refer to our singular nouns. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to identify pronouns and the antecedents, and we're going to use pronouns that agree with the antecedents. All right, and we already went over what a pronoun means that takes the place of a noun or noun phrase. And we say that that noun or the noun phrase that the pronoun refers to, we call that the antecedent. All right, so now we're going to select the pronoun whose antecedent is my husband and I. We need to select the pronoun that refers to that whose antecedent is my husband and I. It says when the family cat went missing, my husband and I distributed flowers around town. The very next day, our neighbor found her. We need to select the pronoun that refers to my husband and I. And if we were to choose the correct option, where we were to identify the pronoun that agrees to my husband and I, and then we're going to say the pronoun is our. So instead of saying my husband and I's neighbor, we say our neighbor found her, right? The next one says we need to select the pronoun whose antecedent is Lillian Moller Gilbreth. We need to select the pronoun whose antecedent is Lillian Moller Gilbreth. It says not only was Lillian Moller Gilbreth an engineer and a writer, but she was also the mother of 12 children. So we need to select the pronoun whose antecedent is Lillian Moller Gilbreth. And if we were to choose the correct word, then we can say if we were to choose the pronoun Here we can say she. She refers to Lillian Moller Gilbreth. So she. It's like saying she's an engineer and writer, but she's also a mother of 12 children. So she. All right. So now let's go to our test where we are going to identify pronouns and their antecedents. All right, we need to select the pronoun whose antecedent is Sean and I. Sean and I. It says, did you hear about the time that Sean and I found a wasp nest in our garage? So, did you hear about the time that Sean and I found a wasp nest in our garage? So, Sean and I, if we were to select the pronoun that refers to Sean and I, is it option one, you, or option two, our? So, you, option one, or our, option two? And if we were to choose the correct option, then we can say Sean and I, it refers to the pronoun also as our. Our is Sean and I. We need to select the pronoun whose antecedent is my husband and I. It says, when the family cat went missing, my husband and I distributed flowers around town. The very next day, our neighbor found her. My husband and I. Is it our option one that refers to my husband and I, or neighbor option two? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct pronoun that refers to my husband and I, then we can say it is our. So our is the pronoun that refers to my husband and I. The next one says we need to select the pronoun whose antecedent is Hector and I. It says Hector and I meant to buy oranges, but they turned out to be tangerines. I guess we both think that oranges and tangerines look the same. So Hector and I, is it we or option two, they? Which one is correct? We or they? That refers to Hector and I. And if we were to choose the correct option, which refers to Hector and I, then we can say we refers to Hector and I. We meant to buy oranges, the same as Hector and I meant to buy oranges. The next one says we need to select the pronoun whose antecedent is the Constitution. It says the Constitution was written in 1787 and its first 10 amendments were added in 1791 to describe individuals' rights in detail. So the Constitution, so the pronoun, if we were to select the pronoun, is it option one, its, whose antecedent is the Constitution, or individuals whose antecedent is Constitution? And if we were to choose the correct option that refers to the Constitution, then we can say its refers to the Constitution. The next one says we need to select the pronoun whose antecedent is Isaac Asimov or Asimov. Isaac Asimov. It says over the course of many years, Isaac Asimov wrote or edited over 500 books about science and science fiction. The American Museum of Natural History honors him with annual debates on scientific topics. So we now need to select the pronoun whose antecedent is Isaac Asimov. Is it option one, the American Museum, or option two, him? The American Museum or him? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, and if we were to select the pronoun that refers to Isaac Asimov, and then we can say the pronoun is him. Because over the course of many years, Isaac Asimov wrote and edited over 500 books about science and science fiction. The American Museum of Natural History honors him. All right. All right, so that is yes. So him refers to Isaac. All right, so this is the end of our lesson on identifying pronouns and their antecedents. We said that the pronoun takes the place of the noun or the noun phrase, and that noun or noun phrase that refers to the pronoun or the that takes the place of the pronoun or the pronoun that refers to the noun phrase, we call that the antecedent. All right, so this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining, and I really hope that you're going to have a good evening further. So, till next time, goodbye.